last movie that we watched together.
Just moments ago.
The Adventures of Food Boy. I feel like since you hated that movie so much, you should read the description this time. I can pull it up for you.
Sure. I don't have my contacts on, but I should be able to read that.
I mean, I could do my movie voice, but I just want to hear the disdain in your voice.
Okay. So, The Adventures of Food Boy. Gifted with the power to make food appear, a teenage boy must decide whether to give up his gift or live a normal life, or use his powers for good.
Yeah.
This is it. It's game time. Hello, everybody. I'd like to make a quick announcement. I am running for junior class president.
I thought you were kidding.
Ivy League schools are looking for students who lead.
You can stop obsessing about your college application. You already have more than enough to get into an Ivy.
My opponent...
Was he throwing cold cuts?
He needs help!
Does this involve food exploding out of your hands?
Our gift is the gift of food. Clean yourself up, and we'll talk.
We can make food?
Exactly.
You smell really bad, but I still like you anyway.
Hey, why don't I do a magic trick? It'll really get the crowd going.
I didn't know we were in magic.
I am ready for the next challenge! This whole thing is ruining my life.
It's been a really weird year for me.
At this point, it seems like you don't like me.
I never wanted this, and I can't take it!
I sound like I'm gonna be a superhero.
Well, not all superheroes fight crime.
Let's go! Very funny, food boy!
If I'm gonna have this gift, I've gotta conquer it.
Oh, you're doing great. You got my vote.
This movie's terrible. Netflix barely gave it a 1 out of 5 in its recommendation.
Gave us like a 1 for each of us.
Yeah, and my one's not even fully filled in.
Mine, it gave me a little more than a 1 because they know that
You're
I watch
stupid.
some dumbass shit on Netflix.
Yeah. So this movie stars a bunch of grown adults that look like teenagers, kind of.
Man, it's a weird mix. Like, it's definitely some 14 and 15-year-olds in this middle school
But
or high school.
there's a lot of 35-year-olds looking like teenagers, or trying to.
Or not even trying to, just being there and playing the role of that. Just
So,
like, yeah, we are.
The star of the movie is some... I already forgot his name.
Random kid. Oh, yeah.
Ezra.
There we go.
E-Z-R-A. And he's just a piece of shit.
He's a fucking loser.
Yeah, not a loser.
Not
like
in a mean way, but like seriously, they made him out to be a loser.
Yeah, and it could be his acting.
Oh yeah.
So
but I don't think he's supposed to have like good acting. But.
Yeah, basically he's a kid who is desperate to stand out because he's applying for colleges. So he wants to run for president of the student body.
Which was cool,
I guess. But in a sudden turn of events, he finds out he can produce food from his hands.
And it starts off with him just smelling peanut butter. Like, his hands smelled like peanut butter.
He's obsessed with cleaning his hands.
He's addicted to hand sanitizer.
Yeah, which I can understand a little bit.
Anytime
That's the one thing
see
I can
hand
relate
sanitizer,
to.
I have to use it.
Yeah. When you see a station, it's like
well, my hands weren't as clean as they could be.
I feel
now
like
they will be.
I have the same reaction to where I saw a gumball machine when I was a kid. When I see hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
I have to go up to it and I have to like
do it.
dispense it. And if it's empty, I'm so sad.
Yeah. Empty hand sanitizer is the worst.
It's
The
because then your hands.
Bobby Boucher.
When you see an empty hand sanitizer thing, I feel like my hands feel so much dirtier after when you go to it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna use a hand sanitizer and it's empty. Your hands then feel heavy and disgusting.
Like you've just acknowledged all the filth on your hands.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a tangent because this movie's terrible.
Yeah, because Food Boy is the filth on our hands.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. So basically, he just produces food and
peanut butter, pastrami, toast.
Yeah, and it runs in his family.
Yeah, it's like.
And his grandmother tries to train him, and then there's parts of the movie where, like, he has, like, a 40-year-old woman who is apparently a teenager.
Yeah.
She's attracted to him because of his food powers that he
who
pretends
is apparently the friend of the girl who actually has a crush on him that is now... She's the only one that really knows she has a crush on him.
Yeah. The other women are just impressed by his food powers, which again...
food powers.
Which again, he can't tell anyone he has a food powers because apparently...
He'll lose taste.
You lose taste if you tell anyone. So they just think he's a magician, which just makes me, like... No one likes magicians.
Oh, man. And then when he asked, does anyone want to see magic...
Everyone's so hype.
And, like, I thought, you know how they say black people, like, react so differently to magic?
That's totally what I thought, because there's like maybe 3 black people in this movie.
Yeah, you notice them for sure.
One was a kid, and then one was this really tall Greg Oden looking motherfucker.
As Schwick said, he suffers from Greg Oden disease.
He's just like, he's apparently a high school kid, but again, it's another like possibly 40 to 80 year old man.
Yeah, dude, if this kid, like, I never saw him playing any sports, but why? Like, he should be dominating everything.
Yeah, like, and he's just like this goofy dude, and he's really impressed by magic, and Ezra somehow becomes popular and becomes vice president of the school because he's a magician that produces
even
toast.
though he got banned from being president because of his food powers.
Yeah, because
everybody wrote him in, and he actually won the election, so they made him vice president.
Yeah, so there's no real conflict in this movie other than his kid is like having wet dreams of peanut butter or something.
Peanut butter just starts forming in his hand, and he gets it all on his nose, just sniffing it.
Yeah, it kind of follows like some movies where like the nerdy kid gets popular and then kind of leaves
Peter Parker. Peter Parker of food.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the superhero we all need.
No, he isn't. But it follows that same thing where the nerdy kid gets popular and kind of leaves his friends behind and then has to learn like, oh...
Except him leaving his friends behind was him moving on to hot popular chicks because he can produce food from his hands.
Yeah, but they think it's magic, and apparently this small, dumb, suburban town is really into magic.
Yeah. Never seen it before in their
So
lives.
he ignores the more attractive girl who's his friend.
Yeah, who's just throwing it at him. She's
constantly.
Well, it's for a children's movie. She was throwing it at him pretty hard.
Like it was one of those things where I didn't know if this was like a children's movie or not.
She showed
really.
more skin than like the 40-year-old ex-porn star.
Yeah, but the 40-year-old ex-porn star high school student was like wearing heels and like prostitute hair.
Yeah, she definitely had that like
and
Brittany Murphy 8 Mile hair.
Yeah. This is the second time you've referenced Brittany Murphy. R.I.P. Rest in peace.
I'm sorry, Brittany. I don't mean anything by it. It was the roles.
She just got her wings. You mentioned her twice. That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
Oh man, every movie ever.
Yeah. So yeah, this girl's just like throwing herself at him, and he's just ignoring her, and she ends up making him jealous. He eventually learns how to master his food.
Yeah, he learns it really fast. Apparently 59 days went by really fast.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't use it on your 59th day, you lose it.
You can use it 58 days, but on the 59th day, if you don't use your power.
Yeah. So if you have a bad day and don't use your power, you lose it. And he was going to lose his powers intentionally because he didn't want the responsibility.
Yeah, people loved him, but at the same time, he was like, I just want to be a normal person.
And his grandmother said, since you have this power...
Story.
Yeah. His grandmother said that if you have this power, you can't do anything but be a cook or some shit.
Yeah, you'll be a chef and you will only be a chef.
Yeah, which is dumb.
It's like if Aunt May was just forcing Peter Parker to do something.
Yeah.
You have to be a photographer.
Which I think that would be way better than, like, because he liked doing that.
Yeah,
this kid doesn't want to be a chef.
This kid has never even
Especially,
cared
like, dude,
about
how unfulfilling would that be to be a chef if all you have to do is crap out the food out of your hand?
Yeah. And
like, there's
apparently
no
Grandma's
challenge.
food is shitty.
Yeah, her food is garbage. But, yeah, there's nothing that's really learned from this movie.
Which, yeah, now that we know that that's his grandma, he was a real disrespectful little shit towards her.
Yeah, he was...
We thought that was like a stepmom or something. We
Yeah.
thought it was mom, then apparently
Yeah.
his mom and dad are dead or something.
Yeah, no,
Like,
but then they have also referenced the dad, so I don't know if the father figure in
like
his
just
house...
ran away or something.
They're old, though.
They're old as fuck. I don't know what these people are.
But that's why I couldn't tell if that was his actual dad or if that was his grandfather. But when we found out that was his grandmother, it was like, oh, okay, that's his grandparents and his parents are...
Yeah, somewhere being fuck boys.
Yeah.
Or dead.
Which they never explained, so you never feel sympathy for him.
Yeah, like exactly. That's why it's like they're either being fuck boys or dead.
Yeah, you only do the whole dead parents thing if you bring it up and want the character to feel sympathetic, but they didn't even try to do that. They just...
Even Batman's dead parents are like funny now. So,
I mean, how many times are we going to see the pearls hit the ground?
yeah, exactly. See?
Maybe one day we will review
Gotta
a
be-
Batman movie.
Gotta be artsy. Oh man, I pray that we get like Batman and Robin roulette one day.
Yeah. Okay, so that was basically that movie. Netflix recommended it 1 out of 5 for me. I will agree.
Yeah, I gotta get that one.
Yeah.
I watched some shitty movies, but that movie was pretty
It was so
bad.
painful. Like, the music's terrible. The movie was apparently done in, 2008?
Yeah, 2008 movie.
2008, and it looked and sounded like it was shot in, 99.
Like they...
Horrible music.
Yeah, like it was a imitation Smashing Pumpkins that just...
No, not even Smashing Pumpkins, Smash Mouth.
Yeah, that's who I meant. That's who I meant.
Yeah,
yeah, it sounded
maybe that
exactly
last song
like
was some Smashing Pumpkins
Maybe.
stuff, but it was like...
Yeah.
If Smash Mouth was, like...
If Mystery Man decided to pick shitty music, it would have been this.
Smash Mouth is, like, one of the worst bands ever, but if somehow someone decided to base their
shittier.
career off
These are
being
my
Smash
idols.
Mouth,
I
yeah.
want to make music just like them.
Yeah.
But they don't really have any songwriting
Yeah.
abilities.
So the movie ends with a food fight, which is probably like the 10th food fight.
Yeah, that was the
movie.
only confrontation we had in that movie. The class president just all of a sudden turns up and decides to kind of confront Food Boy.
Yeah.
Who has
And-
been recently named Food Boy.
Yeah. After like a failed magician talent show thing.
But everybody loved it. And he was
Yeah,
just
everyone loved it,
pissy.
but he was all pissy about it and gonna lose
He loved
his
his
powers.
football. He carried his football
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, the president carried his football everywhere, but
wasn't on the team.
no, like there was a prep rally. He didn't have a shirt. He's just some weird. I don't even think he was a high school kid. That dude looked at least 50.
That dude, he's smoking cigs.
Yeah,
and
and-
working on cars somewhere.
That guy was either 50 or, like I said when we watched it, just started to experiment with meth.
Yeah, he's a 16-year-old that's been using meth a little too hard.
Yeah. He didn't know how many rocks to start with, so he just started with all the rocks.
He didn't even start with like somebody else's. He just made his own off a YouTube video.
That explains so much. Yeah, this movie was terrible. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah. So how do we want to go about this? We're gonna do the roulette on this show. Close out the show with the roulette, so that we're sticking to this and being honest with you. Like I said, we won't turn down any other movies unless it happens to be a repeat or something that's just been seen way too recently.
Yeah. We're trying to pick as many new movies
Yeah.
as possible. I just got to pull up the thing. Tell them like our Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, so guys, as we are just starting up, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. Our Twitter handle is @EveryMovieEverPod.
EME Pod.
EME Podcast. That's what it is. @EME Podcast. And our Facebook is Every Movie Ever. Find us there, follow us. You know you've already fallen in love with the personality of the Chad. And Michael Schwick here, first MJC.
Yeah.
It's giving you that sweet, sweet sensation that you know you want to come back to.
Alright, so we are using allflix.net for its random movie theme.
Because Netflix Roulette, every movie it gave us was not on Netflix. So Allflix, shout out to Allflix.
Allflix has been our hero. So little rules, we're not going to do documentaries.
That would be a little tough for obvious reasons, guys.
Yeah, I feel like...
I can tell you all day how David Attenborough and Morgan Freeman are music to my ears, but...
It's one of those things where some documentaries have a problem of getting dated.
Yeah.
As the world constantly changes, and I feel like if we were going to talk about a documentary, we'd need to do some research.
Yeah, we'd be walking down a slippery slope of making us look like some dumbasses.
Yeah, like I don't want to criticize
I'm not gonna
Holocaust documentary.
This documentary's shitty. Everything it says is wrong.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Maybe one day we'll do like a satire of like March of the Penguins or Farce of the Penguins.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. So I did. First movie
roll.
popped up. I'm just making sure it's available on Netflix because every once in a while it'll mess up and give us like a European Netflix account.
Yeah.
Okay. This looks like another kids movie.
Oh.
The first movie is Northern Borders from 2013.
It's a kids drama.
Yeah. The plot is, when his widowed father ships him off to the family farm, a boy faces an eccentric rural culture and endless verbal combat between his grandparents.
God damn, we got some domestic violence. What? These first few movies.
Add that to your queue.
I will be adding that right now.
Before I randomize it. So that means, so basically we're going to end every episode naming the 3 movies for next week's episode. So if you want to watch it beforehand, you don't have to worry about spoilers.
Yeah, it won't be spoiled for you, but you can definitely get the flavorful opinion of both of us, no matter how shitty the movie might be.
Is it on there?
As you can tell, it's here.
Okay.
I don't have the highest hopes for this.
No, I don't either.
It did give it 3 out of 5 stars on my Netflix.
I've seen it, Varsity Blues, but I haven't seen it since it came out.
I've never seen this.
We're going to watch Varsity Blues next week.
Okay, Varsity Blues.
So when the Coyote star quarterback is injured, second stringer Jonathan Moxon is thrust into the spotlight, yet Moxon is more interested in academics. What? This is that movie where it's a I don't want your life, that famous line.
Is it basically Friday Night Lights season 1?
Yeah, basically, yeah, I kind of.
With some Blue Mountain State in there?
This precedes all that, but yeah, so we're gonna watch that. I saw it once in 1999, so I'm willing to watch it again. It should be pretty fresh for me.
Okay.
But that's our second movie.
Varsity Blues, add it to the list. Hey, it's got James Vanderbeek.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is in the middle of Dawson's Creek Peak.
Oh, and that fat guy that played Bubba Ray from Not Another Teen Movie.
No, that he's basically the same character.
Is he? Dude, okay, I can get into this.
Okay. And our third movie is going to be...
Oh, no.
Is it another French movie? It's an English movie. It's a comedy drama, though. It's a comedy drama. Maybe it's good. It's
English comedies. Oh, man.
I actually like those. I've never seen this.
Make
sure it's on there.
Okay.
So this movie is called Mansfield Park from 1999. A poor heroine is sent to live with wealthy relatives in 1800s England, where her wit and writing talents find the room and circumstances to grow.
Bro, this sounds horrible. This sounds like, and I'm looking at the pictures.
What's your recommendation?
It recommends 2 out of 5
Okay,
stars.
I have a 4, so...
Netflix doesn't know me at all. It has this lady that I've seen before, though.
Yeah, so those are our 3 movies for next week.
Yeah. What was that? I didn't put what it says Varsity Blues is for me. It says Varsity Blues. Oh, they said Varsity Blues is a 4.5 stars.
Yeah, so you should like that.
Gonna love
I'm surprised
it.
you haven't seen
Someone watched it on my Netflix already.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, though.
Okay, so those are movies.
And yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in to Every Movie Ever. Again, this is Chad Whitney.
And this is Michael Swick.
You can find me at Chad Norris 1390 on Twitter.
You can find me at the first MJC THE1ST.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Catch you next week.